guys, today we're gonna do something that I don't do very often on my channel. We're gonna do a tutorial. And what kind of sparked this is because I've been doing a lot of this kind of look lately, and I've had so many people request if I can do a tutorial on how to do sort of my eyeshadow wing for hooded eyes. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do this look right here, which you've already seen in the thumbnail, but I'm excited because this is something that I like to do on days where I don't want to spend a lot of time on my makeup, but I still want it to be nice and impactful and just, I don't know, make my eye shape look a little bit more flattering. I hate that saying, but it's just like I feel better when I have something that makes my eyes look less hooded. And it's not to say that having hooded eyes is a bad thing. If you want to enhance your hooded eyes, go for it. It's all about what makes you feel comfortable. But for me, I prefer something that kind of elongates my eyes a little bit, something that plays with, you know, just like shapes and positioning to make them look a little bit less hooded. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. Now, if you don't have hooded eyes, this might work for you as well. You're just gonna have to play around with, you know, where you place things and stuff. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in and we'll get started. I will show you what I'm going to use first though. I think I'm gonna use this palette from Fantasy Cosmetica, and this is the Druid palette. This is just a really beautiful palette, and I'm gonna make this super simple. So I'm only gonna use probably 2 shades, and I'm gonna use these 2. So all you're gonna need is 1 matte eyeshadow, 1 shimmer eyeshadow that you think is going to go with the matte. Ideally, I would probably recommend some sort of a mid-tone to dark matte. It doesn't have to be super dark. It doesn't have to be anything you don't want it to be. Like whatever you want, use that. So I'm nice and zoomed in. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay in focus this whole time, but I wanted you to just look at my eye shape before we start. So you can see when I look straight ahead that I have a lot of very loose skin right here, which makes doing eyeliner very, very difficult because I have this skin that like falls over. So if I just kind of look like this and I do a line like most people would when they create their wing, it's gonna look really wonky when I look straight ahead, and you're gonna get sort of that like sharp edge that you don't really want. So we're gonna try to prevent that. I will show you how to do this on your hooded eyes if you have hooded eyes as well. Of course, like I said before, we all have different hooded eyes, so what works for me might not work for you. But just give it a try, you know? If you have similar eyes to me, this should work for you as well. So I'm just going to prime my eyes before we get started. And I'm using my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, which use whatever you have, whatever you like. This is just what I prefer. So I have 2 brush options here that I prefer for doing stuff like this. These are basically eyebrow brushes. So you can see I have one that's sort of more flat, and the other one here is a little bit more angled. I like having something that has sort of a long part here, which you will see why, because I'm gonna use that to kind of create that wing effect. So I'm gonna use this one, which this one is from Alamar. I got this in a subscription box a while back. You can find these everywhere. I'm gonna take this into the brown shade up in the corner here, and I'm just gonna make sure that I coat both sides of this nicely. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do one eye here at a time, and then I will show you kind of the side by side so you can see when one eye is fully done compared to what it looks like on the other side. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look straight ahead. I'm gonna try to stay in focus. I don't usually do very zoomed in footages like this because I feel like it's always out of focus. You're gonna take your brush, line it up with the lower lash line, and kind of just follow the angle of where your lower lash line goes out, and then you're just gonna start stamping this kind of up towards your brow. You can decide yourself how far up you want to go with this, but I like something like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then with the same brush, just pick up a little bit more eyeshadow. You're now gonna, again, look straight ahead. It's very important that you don't look up or look down. You want to look straight ahead. You're gonna connect this, basically make a triangle. So you're gonna connect this to the upper portion of the hood of your eye. This doesn't have to be perfect. The nice thing about doing this with eyeshadow is that it's a lot easier to kind of go in and finesse it and fix it than if you were to use some kind of a liquid liner. So you can see now I basically just have a triangle, and that is pretty much what I'm going for. And you can see it connects with the top part of my eye here. I do want it to kind of be a little bit of a rounded shape, sort of like that. So that's why I don't bring this up any higher, but if you want a larger wing, go ahead and do that if you want. I'm next gonna take a small pencil brush. This one is from Rephr. It's the 03. It's probably my favorite to do this with. I'm just going to pick up more of that shadow. I'm going to start, see here how it's like disconnected on the outer corner. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of connect that to my lid, and I'm going to start filling in the outer portion of my lid with this eyeshadow, and also just obviously inside of my wing as well. So what I like to do is I like to go about halfway onto my lid on the bottom portion with this eyeshadow, and then create a little bit of a diagonal line going in. And what you don't want to do after you've done this is you don't want to look up, because this portion here will transfer into your crease to a point where you don't really want it to be. So just kind of keep your eye in the same position. I like pulling the shadow in a little bit because I am going to be layering the shimmer over the top, and it's just going to create a little bit of a better blend if you start pulling the shadow in. So you can see I have a nice kind of shape on my eye now, which is pretty much where it is that I want it to be. I might have to just go in with a little bit more. I can tell that it's almost a little too sharp for what I like just underneath here. I'm just going to take a little bit more here and just kind of round out that bottom edge. You can really just go in and finesse and do whatever it is that you want with this, but I think that's looking quite nice. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm telling you, this is a super simple look. I don't know if you can see here, but I did look up a little bit, and now it transferred like right here from that portion of my lid, but it's fine because we're gonna put a shimmer over the top. I'm gonna take the shimmer, which is this one right here, on a flat brush. This one is from MAC. It's my favorite with shimmers. This is the, man, all of this is rubbed off, the MAC 242 brush. And I'm basically just going to put this eyeshadow all over my lid until I meet it up with the wing, and then we're gonna blend it into the wing. So I like starting it in the inner corner, and I'm putting on a lot of this because I love shimmer eyeshadows, okay? Like, it's one of those, it's definitely a weakness of mine, and I like to just follow the natural shape of my eyeball here. Now I do have quite large eyes in comparison to my face, but my eyes honestly are very small because I have a very small frame and a very small face. So if it looks like my eyes are large, yeah, they might be large in comparison to my face, but really I have very small eyes. So I'm basically just taking this all over the lid, meeting it up with the brown that I have created the wing with, just kind of tapping over the edges here. And this is going to look quite subtle when I'm done with this look, because you don't really have any crease shades, you don't have anything other than what is really poking up out here. When your look is done and you're looking straight ahead, it's just gonna look like a wing, and then when you kind of like move around, you're gonna see the beautiful sparkles on your eyes. I'm just going back in with that matte shade and just layering that over again, just to make sure I get that nice smooth blend that I had in the beginning. And I'm not going to do any eyeshadow underneath my eye. If you wanted to, you could probably connect it a little bit in the outer corner, but I find that, especially when doing this technique where I follow my lower lash line up, unless I pull this down a little bit lower, trying to connect it here, it's just gonna look a little bit weird, because this angle is going up higher, and then there's like this kind of space in between here where the eyeshadows don't meet in the outer corner. That just looks kind of weird. So if I wanted to have shadow underneath my eye, I would have started this like a little bit lower down here so that I could blend it into my lower lash line, if that makes any sense. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna put a little bit of a nude eyeliner in my waterline. This one is Honeydew from ColourPop. I'm not gonna do anything fancy at all with this look. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of black eyeliner on my top, because I do want to put on a lash. So I'm just going to do a very thin liquid liner here. This is of course optional, but I do like having a little bit of liquid liner on my top, just where my lashes are going to sit. And because my camera battery is very low right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and plop on my lashes, and then I will come back and I will show you what the final side by side looks like. So here is the look all done with a lash on. I decided to try a new lash today, which I think that was a very good choice because I think this is a beautiful lash. This is the House of Lashes Divine Light. I'm pretty sure these are new, but I got an email from them saying they were having a Black Friday sale and they were having 5 lashes for $35. I will link them down below if you want to go check them out. I think that's a really, really good deal, but I can show you what the lash actually looks like since I only have one on here. I did have to cut this lash quite a bit, but as you can see, it's definitely more flared out on the end here, which I find really accentuates that shape that we have with the wing. So I think choosing a lash that is more flared is going to help you kind of elongate and make that cat eye shape a little bit more. But you could probably just do mascara. Of course, you don't have to do lashes if you don't want to do lashes, but I just want to show you like what a drastic difference your eye makeup can have on your just like your appearance in general, like because I feel like I really changed the shape of my eye and the ways that and almost the way that my whole face looks just from doing something as simple as this, and it was so easy to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off with the other eye and we can sum up this video and you get to see the whole look all put together. So this is the complete finished look. I hope that you guys found this helpful. I truly believe that this is one of the easiest hooded eyes tutorials on YouTube, and I stand by that. If I didn't film, I could do this look in at least the eyeshadow part in less than 5 minutes. Like, it is super easy, super quick. Once you get the hang of the angles on the outer corner, like the rest is a piece of cake. So I would love it if you could tag me on Instagram if you do end up trying this. I'll have my Instagram on the screen. It's just Annette's Makeup Corner. But yeah, I love doing looks like this. I think they are so easy. To me, these are honestly easier to do than doing your basic eyeshadow look with a transition shade, a deepening shade, a lid shade, because that requires blending. You literally do not have to blend really at all with these, except for just like blending the two colors together, and that's it. So super, super easy. If there's anything else that you want to see like hooded eyes wise, do let me know. There's definitely certain things that we as hooded eyes people just can't do. It's just simply not possible because of our eye shape. But there's still a lot of things that we can do, and we have to work with what we have. We can't just look at Instagram pictures and be like, I wish I could do this amazing triple cut crease and have it look the same way, because it's not going to work. Like, that's just not how things are when you have eyes that aren't the same as what you normally see on Instagram. Or even just like in real life too, you know? So you just have to work with what you have. You have to find techniques and things that you're able to do for yourself that you find to be easy and flattering on your eyes. So let me know what else you want to see and I can probably do that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see my other hooded eyes videos, I can make a playlist. They're quite old and probably not that great, so maybe I should do some updated content on this, but it'll be right there if you want to check it out. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in my next one. Bye.